Susan Miller sat alone in the small living room of her quiet townhome in Maplewood, Iowa. At 55, her life felt unfamiliar. A freshly printed stack of divorce papers lay on the coffee table. After 30 years of marriage, her husband, Tom, had left her for a younger woman. The predictability of the ending made it hurt even more. Her two grown children, Jake, an engineer in Chicago, and Emma, an elementary school teacher in Denver, were busy with their own lives. They called occasionally, but the house felt empty without them. For decades, Susan had been a homemaker. She had supported Tom's career and raised their children, leaving her own passion art forgotten in the background. Sketches of Iowa's rural landscapes sat gathering dust in an old portfolio. Now, with the divorce finalized and her savings dwindling, she had to find a way to support herself. Starting over at her age felt terrifying. Who would hire her? What skills did she even have? One rainy afternoon, while cleaning out the attic, Susan stumbled upon a box of old art supplies, paint brushes stiff with dried paint, yellowed canvases, and a sketchbook filled with drawings of Maplewood's barns and fields. Flipping through the pages, she remembered the joy of capturing the world in lines and colors. A flicker of hope ignited. Maybe she could turn her art into something more. With nothing to lose, she decided to try. She dusted off her easel, spent what little money she had left on new paints, and set up a makeshift studio in her garage. Her first few paintings were clumsy, lacking the vibrancy she had envisioned. But she persisted, dedicating hours each day to practicing. Slowly, her skills improved. With every brushstroke, she inched closer to the artist she had once dreamed of becoming. Her first opportunity came at the Maplewood Farmers Market, where she rented a small booth and nervously displayed her painting scenes of local landmarks. The red barn on Highway 12, sunflower fields at dawn, the town square bathed in autumn colors. To her surprise, people stopped to admire her work. Some even bought paintings, praising her ability to capture the essence of the Midwest. By the end of the day, she had earned $200, not enough to live on, but enough to buy more supplies and fuel her determination. Word spread around town. Soon, Susan's paintings were hanging in local cafes and souvenir shops. She created a Facebook page, Susan's Heartland Art, where she shared her latest work and the stories behind them. Followers grew, and commissions began trickling in. It wasn't a fortune, but it was a start. Yet, self-doubt lingered. Tom's words haunted her. "It's just a hobby," he had scoffed. "You're not a real artist. Cute, but it won't pay the bills." On slow sales days or when a painting didn't capture the light just right, she feared he might have been right. Everything changed when she met Eleanor Gray, a retired artist from Chicago who had settled in Maplewood. One morning, Eleanor watched as Susan sketched by the river. "You have talent," she said warmly but firmly. "But you're holding back. Art isn't just about making things pretty, it's about telling the truth." Eleanor became Susan's mentor, pushing her to paint not just landscapes, but the emotions within them. Under her guidance, Susan's art evolved. She captured the loneliness of abandoned barns, the resilience of wind-blown prairies, and the quiet strength of the Midwest. She poured her fears, hopes, and rediscovered confidence onto the canvas, and people noticed. Success wasn't immediate. A prestigious gallery in Des Moines rejected her work, calling it too regional. The rejection stung. Had Tom been right all along? She considered giving up, but Eleanor wouldn't let her. "Every artist faces rejection," she said over a cup of tea. "It's not a sign to stop, it's a sign to keep going." Determined, Susan pushed forward. She took online art courses, experimented with new styles, and attended local art fairs, networking with other artists. She even began teaching children's painting classes at the community center, where the kids' enthusiasm reminded her that art was about joy, not just perfection. Then, everything changed with a viral Instagram post. A tourist visiting Maplewood bought one of Susan's paintings and shared it online. The post exploded with thousands of likes and comments. Suddenly, her inbox flooded with purchase requests, and a national art magazine reached out, naming her a rising artist to watch. The pinnacle of her journey came with an invitation to exhibit at a major art show in New York City. The theme, The American Story. A curator had seen the magazine feature and was captivated by her work. Susan was terrified. New York was a world away from Maplewood. She feared she wouldn't belong, that she would be overshadowed by more experienced artists. What if she failed? What if she embarrassed herself? But with Eleanor's encouragement and her children's support, they even flew in to be by her side. Susan took the leap. The gallery was packed with people and dazzling lights. Nervously, she stood beside her painting, Echoes of the Heartland. To her astonishment, crowds gathered around, moved by her work. By the end of the night, 3 pieces had sold, and several galleries had reached out with interest. A well-known critic approached her, smiling. "Your work has soul," he said. "It's not just about beauty, it's a love letter to resilience and the Midwest. You have something special." Tears welled in Susan's eyes. For the first time, she believed it. The exhibition marked a turning point. Demand for her work soared, and her name became recognized in the art world. She opened a small gallery in Maplewood, showcasing her own work and supporting local artists. Even Tom, through mutual friends, begrudgingly sent his congratulations. But Susan no longer needed his validation. She had found herself. Now, at 58, she stands in her sunlit studio, a blank canvas before her. Around her, paintings tell the story of her journey from the pain of divorce to the triumph of self-discovery. She is no longer defined by age or the past. She is defined by her courage to chase a dream. Dipping her brush into paint, she smiles. Her story isn't just about becoming an artist, it's proof that it's never too late to start again.